Mind games on Oki.
You seem a little too...
That is the next topic. So, dash, dash, throw. So I know I'm +3 after that, dash, dash. +3 every time. Now, black recovery, +8. So in Rose's scenario, she actually has a very unique dash where you can let it go completely, or you can cut it off. And it actually travels further if you don't cut it off. That's just something with Rose. Anywho, I can't immediate throw on a back rise because I'm +8. So I've got to see it and adjust accordingly. So the most important thing to establish on Oki, in my opinion, is throw. So let's start with normal recovery. This is the easy one. Dash, dash, throw. Now you have to think about it. Okay, we're going to do ba, dash, dash, throw. Work every time. And it'll work every time because we're +3, we're throwing out a 5-frame move. So it's important to know why it's working. It's working because there's only a 2-frame gap between my dashes, them waking up, and my next possible action, which is, in this case, a throw. I'm throwing in 5. I'm +3. There's only a 2-frame gap. The only thing that they can do on a 2-frame gap is backdash. I think they could jump too. Let's see. So let's start talking about wake-up actions as opposed to guard actions. Jump up in the air. Okay. So now what's going to happen? Dash, dash, throw. Okay. So there's possible actions they can take to beat my throw Oki. Wake up action 1, jump. Wake up action 2, backdash. Dash, dash, throw. Didn't work. Third possible defensive option. Tech. They could decide to wake up and mash tech. Now we'll get into this popular option in circumstances where they're in the corner and they are banking on you doing some kind of delay action on their wake up. You think they're not going to do something immediate, and then they immediately back throw you. Now you're in the corner and you're in trouble. So those are the 3. What else could they do? They could try. They could try to challenge with a jab. Challenge with their fastest possible option. Or, of course, the beat all. Right? The huge, I'm going to spend meter, and you are going to deal with it. I'm putting that as the last possible option because, honestly, it shouldn't even be on your radar unless it's like a key moment. Like you know that they're going to EXDP because if they don't, they're going to lose. And you want to take that. You want to take that risk. You want to establish that you're willing to block the EXDP in winnable situations or situations that give you massive damage in corner carry. But that's going to be variable depending on who you're facing. So the important thing when you're trying to establish, right? These lessons are establishing offense. You don't establish your offense by predicting an EXDP every single time that they wake up, because you're just going to get thrown. They're going to mash out. They're going to say, oh, he's not doing anything on my wake up. Okay, I can abuse this. Establish the throw. Okay. So what's the third option? They immediately tech. What's the fourth option? They immediately jab. they lose. So if they wake up buttons, they lose to a throw. And lastly, yeah, it's obviously not going to work. So the 3 winnable decisions on defense, well, 4 actually. Yeah, 3. Jump, backdash, throw tech. We'll not consider the jab or the EXDP in this circumstance. Save our status. Throw tech. Tech again. Okay. Jump. 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 So the other one is backdash. So we want to try and find a situation that beats out as many of these options as possible. The problem is that tech is one of those options. So if we don't throw, then we're going to eat a throw in response if they immediately tech or they delay tech.
You seem a little too passive.
So with that in mind, we should be, and now we're going to get into an option select term, right? Option selecting. We should be option selecting every single throw that we do. Because why not? Why wouldn't you put something behind it in case they backdash, in case they jump? So let's explore the jump, which is, I think, is the easiest one to counter because you option select DP, at least with rows. You're going to have an option. Everyone has an option. It'll just be your basic anti-air. For example, okay. When you're throwing, you should just do it. Mash it. You're in the middle of a throw animation. What's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is he busts out with EXDP or he techs you. So every single time, do it. 10 times. Now Rose has an especially good anti-air, but for example, you could do throw with DP. Right? It's going to come out quicker, at least in Rose's case. So now these are the things that when you get into a match are going to be hard to emulate, but if you do them in training, then you can establish the muscle memory necessary to do them when you're in a match. One thing you want to consider, what about a forward jump? What if they're in the corner? Okay, let's do wake up. Let's get rid of the EXDP, right? We know what happens on EXDP. We want to bait out an EXDP with shimmy or delay button while we're blocking. Up, forward. Now turn both of them on. First thing you should be trying are the 2 options that you tried before. Reset the situation. Bat, bat, boom. Boop, boop, dash, anti-air. Throw, anti-air. Throw, anti-air. Still works. Uh-oh, I tried to DP. Now, if we're quick enough, I think we can get an autocorrect. But this is where you're going to have to start to adapt, pay attention to their jump, and do a crosscut, which is going to take some time. right? So a slight delay there, right? Because I'm fumbling a bit. I'm seeing what they're doing. So there's my inputs. So I was holding forward during the throw, priming myself for either a neutral jump or a forward jump. When I see the action, I'm reacting, doing either tap down on hitbox, or I'm doing the cross cut. Hold forward. Okay, didn't get my cross cut. There it is. Now we can just practice using this. Okay, so my cross cut turned into a soul spark. So, Oki, row. Okay, I did a cross cut instead. Look, confirm. Now, double dash, look, confirm. Didn't come out. Try again. Okay, so I'm not doing my DP motion well enough. There. Got to be quick about it. I fumbled. It's tough. You have to practice this. There it is. See the action, roll into your follow-up. But don't be too crazy with it. Just calmly do it. I'm messing up my cross-ups now. There it is. So the ideal cross-cut animation ends on a diagonal, because then you're not going to risk the possibility of getting some other move that you don't want, like a fireball. In this case, Rose's fireball being quarter circle forward and punch, you have the potential to get that out as opposed to your cross-cut. So try to end on a diagonal. Okay, let's see how reliable we can get. Right, we got the non-cross cut down. I didn't let go of left. There it is. So I just rolled my fingers from forward, down, all buttons, and then lift up my pinky. Or in any kind of joystick situation, you're just doing a roll, a half circle roll that ends in diagonal. You're starting forward, getting past them, half circle roll that ends in diagonal. All right, keep going. All right, so that side's trouble for me. So let's save it. Okay. And then just see how many of these you can do. You should always be acting, okay? You should always be doing something after the throw. Always be doing something after the throw. Don't just throw. Like, oh, they jumped. Maybe I should do so. Oh, I got hit. Just do the follow-up action. No, as a matter of fact, I want to be back in the corner. Back in the corner, you. Okay, I didn't roll well. There. So that's throw. That's the jump, right? Now we gotta talk about the other options. And again, this is just first option throw on wake up. There's a lot to explore in this game, but you have to do it. Bam, boom, bam, dash, dash, throw. Well, ain't that a problem? So the backdash is going to be the general good counter to throw Oki, unless you're Balsam and you can do immediate jump gale or some ridiculous thing to counter the throw and result in an offensive situation for you.
You seem a little too passive. Taking.
But there isn't much we can do against the backdash, is the point I'm trying to make. Excuse me. So the only way that we're beating a backdash, the only way we're beating a backdash is with a hard call out. And the thing about backdashes is that they put you in counter hit state. So if you know this is something where you have to pay very, very close attention to your opponent. If you see that they're backdashing on your wake up every single time, then you have to start meatying them. You have to start changing up your offense. But I would not change up my offense until I see someone perform those actions. At least until we get into like the up level where you're really trying to maximize the damage that you get on every Oki situation. For the time being, take your throw, see what they do. And then when they do that, the next time you're in that situation, you have to do something different. Unless it works, in which case, do it again or not. So what do we do against a backdash? We have some hard call-out options with throws. Dash, dash, standing hard kick. Standing hard kick is going to be the big boy reward. Standing hard punch. Now that's a 12 frame normal. If I do dash dash, I'm +3. So that's a 9 frame gap. I'm taking a risk. They could wake up mash buttons. They could do anything to beat that. But if you see that they're constantly backdashing, you gotta call them out on it. Just like you see Zangiefs do on your wake up. They know what you want to do. You want to get away from that Geef. Same rule applies to any character. It's just their propensity to do it. You have to pay attention to. And look, if you do that and you get called out, you get counter hit, punish into it. So this is where the risk reward comes in. With the situation like this, with full meter, with everyone at full meter, it's very, very dangerous to go for a call out action like this because they have a counter hit jab convert into V trigger, into side switch, into CA, and whatever they want to do. Or just to take their advantage back, right? So this is a hard call out. Other options for this kind of thing is to do a delay, do another button that'll reach. Test it out. Dash, dash, low forward. Causes an air reset. I mean, we're +5, but it's still not good. So +5 you can check with either one of these. That's a good one. So now we're getting into the meaty territory, right? Air reset. Let's try that again. Dash, dash. Air reset. So why are we getting an air reset? Well, we're +3, and we threw out a 6 frame normal. So that's a 3 frame gap. Backdashes come out in 2. Backdashes are immediately airborne. That's why they beat throws. That's why you're getting an air reset. Tighten up your meaty is the answer to that question. Throw is too slow. It's 5 frames, and it doesn't beat the backdash
You
anyways.
seem a little too passive.
In this particular case, crouching medium punch is the answer for Rose because it's a 5-frame button in a 3-frame gap. Dash, dash, boop, bow, bow. Ha, bow. Alright, again. So folks, ladies and fellas, if you notice that your meaties are you're scoring hits but not counter hits, guess what that means? It means either they're sitting there with their hands off the controller, they're holding up, or they're backdashing. Pay attention to these things, and it'll improve your game because you have to notice that you're not seeing the counter hit. If you see the counter hit, then they're pressing. They're pressing something that you're countering. That's why it's called the counter hit. Here they are unguarding. They cannot guard while they're backdashing. So they made this conscious decision to do something on their wake up. You're not going to score a counter hit until the backdash animation starts. But because your 2-frame trap is on point, they aren't even getting the backdash out, which results in a regular hit. Same deal with holding up. If I just make him hold up, clean hit, no counter. Try a 6-frame. Still works because jumps have a longer startup than backdashes. That was my 6-frame. Let's try my 7-frame. Still working. Rose doesn't have an 8. Well, Rose has crouching hard punch. There's the air reset. So what does that tell us? Okay, in a +3 situation, a 5-frame gap results in an air reset. That should make sense to anyone who understands the frame data of Street Fighter V. Because jumps take that long. At least vertical jumps, neutral jumps take that long. About forward jumps. Same deal. In fact, he was further up. Let's try our 7. Our 7-frame is causing an air reset. Okay. 6-frame. Doesn't. Forward jumps are faster than neutral jumps. So as we discussed in the previous mind game thing, we want an option that covers both. Ideally, we want an option that covers all 3. And the option that covers all 3 is crouching medium punch Rose. It's your 5-framer. But you can do this with any character. That's why I'm describing the frame data in this training. Is that, okay, I'm using Rose, and your Oki situation is going to be vastly different than that, the dash +3. But you're still going to have it. You're going to have your Oki, and you want to understand what to do based on the numbers. You want to understand based on the numbers. Okay, what are we after mind then? Okay, let's present ourselves with a different Oki situation, because this one is extremely advantageous for Rose. So much so, in fact, that if I do an immediate action, I'm gonna whiff. +14. They can't back rise. So it's always going to be +14, or they're going to do no recovery and give us all the frames in the world to do whatever. So +14, if we do anything 14 frames or faster, it's going to whiff. In standing hard punch's case, I'd have to be very quick to cause it to whip. And the active frames and data on it cause it to hit. But generally, we want to avoid doing moves that are around that frame total because it's going to result in our move whiffing. So let's use standing hard kicks, 12 frames. That's not the Oki. This is it. My goodness. Whiffed right in his face. So we can't have that. So what do? We want to try and fashion a situation that does the math for us. It's called a frame kill. If you dash with Rose and then clip it with a crouching light kick, you're +1 in their face. So that means that we can do a meaty. We can't do a throw, though. So if we want to do a throw out of this setup, our best option is just to waltz up to him. So that's some manual timing. That's our best option with Rose. So you just got to manually time it. If you want to go for something special, then you can do the dash frame kill. Do something like that. So that it eliminates the need to think about manual timing, and that's crazy advanced. I rarely do it. Better off just doing walk up, throw, or walk up and bait the throw. So this is going to be one situation where Rose's standing medium kick comes into really, really good play. Let's show it off. So we got our wake up actions. Our number one is throw. Right? I'm delaying. It's jump. Okay. Let's adjust that. Tech. Walk up. We can get that. Or we can dash and time it. We can dash and try and fish for a counter hit. Which is going to be a little tricky. So there it is. So we're showing throw. We're walking towards him. Like we're going to just waltz up and throw him. If we try and throw, he techs it. Waltz up, bap. Walk up, bap. Now I know I can do that because on counter hit him +5. Yep, oops. Held forward for too long. Right, so the ability for our opponent, here's an important thing to note. The ability for our opponent to react to that situation properly every time is not physically possible. They have to guess, or they just have to block it out. I'm walking up to them, and I'm either throwing them, which is 5 frames, or I'm cutting off that throw with a 10 frame normal.
You seem a little too passive.
Neither of those numbers are within the range of human reaction. You can't sit there and block and be like, oh, here comes the throw. Oh, here comes the standing medium kick. Can't do that. That's why the safe option is to block. But when you notice that people aren't blocking, you have to incorporate these things in your gameplay to blow up their defense. Bap. Walk up for throw. No. Didn't actually throw you. That time I did. Can't react to that. What else can we do? Oop, trying to be cheeky. Block up. My instant air fireballs suck. +4. Point is, if we want to spend meter, we can do it that way. What's another option? Shimmy. Now, shimmy is going to work in a situation where, okay, you can still do it on the walk up. Rose's walk speed might be shit, but you could still do it. Again, all these things are outside of the realm of human reaction. So the next time you find yourself in a scenario where you think that someone just has the most godlike defense in the world, and they're teching everything, they're challenging everything, keep in mind it's educated guesses based on what you've shown them, or just guesses. The other opponent could just not be paying attention to what you're doing, and just they have an autopilot defense where every time they wake up, on the first wake up they do this, or they're thinking on the fly and they're like, I'm gonna attack, and they just do it. What that should tell you is that, okay, this person has no structure to their defense, so I can break this down incredibly easily by throwing them an option that I've prepared beforehand. Again, prepared beforehand. You have to train it. You're not gonna wake up one day and do that. You're not gonna wake up one day and be like, you know what? After my bind, I'm just gonna stand medium kick. You're not. Your brain is gonna go to what's comfortable. Your brain is gonna go to what it's used to doing, and that's gonna result in predictable basic offense. You don't want predictable basic offense. You want weird. I'm going for a throw. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm going for a throw this time. Tech me. Oh, you teched me, huh? All right. I'm gonna do that instead. Now, if you get a normal counter hit, if you get a normal hit there, it's only +3. You can just go in for the throw or go in for another trap, right? This game is constantly moving, constantly changing. In that situation, you're +3. What do you do when you're +3? Well, you take your advantage, right? You can take your advantage in all the ways that I've described so far. You can walk up throw, you can walk up go for another throw reset, you can go low, you can go low forward, hard confirm. But the point is that while these options are available to you, you have to be able to use them on the fly. And the only way that you're going to do that is by training these scenarios and seeing them and reacting to them without a human on the other end. And then when you're presented with the flowchart, shut up, Akuma. I don't want you bashing the floor. Then when you're presented with a scenario, it's like a recording going off in your mind. It's like the tape deck just got turned on, and now you're in play mode, where you're playing through that tape. All right, so that's a good overview of just general mind games, right? So you're going to have mind games on Oki, you're going to have mind games on block, and you're going to have mind games on hit. And in most Oki situations, there are going to be options that cover multiple options, and you want to explore those, and you want to make sure that you have them, especially with throw anti-air. With throw anti-air is the corner classic. You need to have it. So right corner, left side, you got your opponent here. Sorry, my camera's in the way. Let's do the other one. Left corner, right side. Hey. Okay. they're the only axis they can control is Y. The only axis they can control is Y. They have to jump out or they have to take your shit. They have to take your offense. And one of the most popular offensive options is throw because it establishes your offense. I keep saying it, but it does. Okay. So what's one thing that could happen? You could block a single attack and then choose at that moment in time after they blocked it to jump out. What's a popular option? Tick throw,
This will hurt.
right? You cannot have this happen. Now, granted, you're really plus in this scenario, but you want to have your DP or your anti-air. Again, this is the option select, throw anti-air. If you do that, you can do some stuff. You can start playing around with them. You can start playing around with their anti-airs. You can get out of the corner, or you can get an Oki into a back throw situation, right? That's what you're really looking for. You know that they know that you want a back throw to get them back into a situation. Now, Roses isn't spectacular, but players like Ken are really, really, really looking for it, and that's why the frame trap of his VT1 cancel dash in, you do a normal. They are going to tech because they're totally expecting the back throw because back throw is the worst thing that could possibly happen to them, so they think. But you're saying no. Actually, the worst thing that can happen to you is getting counter hit into 400 damage. So instead, you start your offense, or you go for throw bait. Oh wait, what were we doing? Right? See, I'm already doing the dash because it's so built into my brain. Walk up. Dash, throw. Oh, what? No. Yeah, so these are that's just another example of when your opponent's positioning is poor. You want to expect them to do these higher risk options more. You want to be ready for them because that Akuma is going to jump. That Akuma is going to jump, or that Akuma is going to challenge, and they're going to activate. They're going to try to get out of that situation with their desperation move, their powerful move that they can cancel and be plus. So understanding that will bring us to the last topic, which is spacing.